Hey everybody, it's me, SARA WISEMAN, working on some of our channeled messages. Today we are working on, this one's really short. What you experience is how you exist. So, what would you like to experience? It's really simple, and if I'm going to borrow from Rumi as a complementary idea to this idea of what you seek is seeking you. Kind of like as you consider what would you like to experience, know that simply by setting that in your intention, or not even setting it in your intention, knowing that your heart longs for certain experiences as soul in human form. You long in this lifetime to have certain experiences. And the more you choose these experiences that your heart desires, this is how you begin to experience your life. And the more you choose the experiences that you are told by society, oh, you should do this, or this is required, or everyone has to struggle, so you do too, or you don't deserve to have what you want, or all of these societal messages that we're given from birth, or maybe even especially I know there's a lot of women listening, and one of the big messages that women in these generations have been given is, you don't get what you want, you got to help everybody else get what they want. You need to help others, and you take the last piece of pie, or you work 7 jobs so somebody else can go to school, or you are the one that gets up with the kids so the other person can rest, and you are the one that volunteers to help, volunteers to fix things. Your life exists, the highest use of your life is in service. And I would say the highest use of your life is in service if this is where you have come to on your spiritual path. But usually the service aspect is at the very end. You have to go through all the other explorations on your life path in order to get to that place to find value and meaning in service. If you try and jump ahead to service as society tells us, you got to be the humble one, you got to be the servant, you got to help others, you got to fix it, the whole codependent cycle. If you do that without having done the other pieces of exploration in your life, it's doing it from false pretenses. You haven't come to enough expansion to understand what you're really doing. So this question, what would you like to experience? And this is not really like making a bucket list. A bucket list seems to be more made up from the mind. And again, there's this sort of this should culture that exists. Even if we look at social media now, we look at like influencer culture, like influencers tend to bring people to this idea, like this is what an exciting life would be. I'll be I don't know, parasailing in Brazil, and living on the beach and being amazing looking in my bikini, or I don't know, but just this idea, or I'll be a fashion influencer and I'll have all this luxury goods, and that's what our society is kind of telling us is desirable. But I would guess if you're like most people who are real, most people who are rejecting the prescribed path of society, or most people who are rejecting the prescribed path of celebrity culture or social media culture, all those other ways that we're taught, we're the consumer culture. And if you start to kind of let go of that stuff, and then you start to pay attention to what really makes you happy, and it may be quite different than you thought. Like for me, I talk a lot about nature, and I'm not out there with crampons hiking big mountains. I'm just out there stepping to a neighborhood nature spot and noticing and looking like what's going on there, like just kind of arriving and in this curiosity of like, here I am in this nature spot, and I want to experience more of that. Or I like to dance, so and not I like to do contemplative dance or ecstatic dance. So it's really just dancing with the music and doing this kind of self-observance of what's happening, how the emotions are going with the music. I love that. I like to read. So these are like, obviously, for me, very simple, very internal things. But that's where I find my particular style of joy. Now, others of you might be like, oh no, I don't want to do any of that, but I really like to garden, or I really like to cook, or I like to travel. Like each of us is so unique in our preferences and what we enjoy. I like to, go to concerts, whatever it is. But take a moment and really think about where you're happiest in your life, doing what types of activities, what types of experiences. And then let your heart say to the universe, I want more of this. Like, I love traveling. I just completely want to travel all the time. And allow this to come forward in your life. So often the only difference between people who are doing what they enjoy and having enjoyable experiences and people who are bored or burnt out or stressed is because the people who decided to enjoy their lives took a moment to figure out what they enjoy, and then they asked the universe to bring this to them. They set intention. What you seek is seeking you. It's already created for you. All you have to do is like, what do I love? What I love. And chances are good this is the stuff you loved as a kid. As a kid, there was me dancing in the basement, reading books, and trudging around in nature. It hasn't changed that much. Your unique personality probably has already shown you clearly what it is you truly love. What you experience is how you exist. So what would you like to experience? I'm SARA Wiseman. You will find me at sarawiseman.com.